Non Evans is a woman on a mission. To say the Welsh fullback enjoys a challenge in life would be a huge understatement. As well as holding down a full-time job as a medical sales representative and preparing for the Women's Rugby World Cup in England this month, she's also training for the Commonwealth Games in October, representing the Welsh wrestling team in India. Finding time to squeeze so much into a schedule would be impossible for most, but for Evans, it's just a way of life.
It's difficult to balance everything, but I think when you're a female athlete, it's very difficult because we're not professional. So all the girls, whether they're teachers, whether they're reps, whether they're doctors, everyone has to fit their training in around their sport, and that's the nature of being a woman in sport. I think if I was a man, I'd be worth millions. Well, I got up this morning very early, went running and then went to the gym and did my weight session. Then I met my sprint coach and did a speed session. Then back home for my breakfast, got ready, went to work. Work all day then, travelling around the hospital, and then after work I have to enter and input all my calls into my computer, and then off to wrestling training in the evening, or rugby training on a Wednesday evening and wrestling on a Thursday. So it's really busy. I'm up early every morning and work all day, train every evening, so it's pretty hectic, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Her love for sport and athleticism were evident from an early age when she competed in gymnastics and aerobics. She also took part in the World Youth Powerlifting Championships and became an expert in judo. But she needed to draw on all of those experiences when she decided to take up wrestling.
A lot of the techniques are quite similar in terms of the throws, the hold downs, but the hardest thing was learning all the new rules with the wrestling. It's different technically to judo, the way they score the bouts, and also getting the match fitness back. Because although I was fit with all the rugby and the training I do, the fitness for wrestling is a lot harder, and probably the fittest I've ever had to be is to become a wrestler, even harder than judo. My first tournament, I was like a bull in a china shop trying to throw and smash everybody, and I was so out of breath I thought I was going to die. But I've learned since then to control the way I fight and to pick up points against opponents as opposed to trying to smash them in the first 2 minutes of the fight. And through experience and through fighting in loads of different tournaments, that's come, and I've improved loads since the first tournament I fought in, and managed to beat some of the best wrestlers in Britain.
Her relentless quest for success continues. The sporting all-rounder will find herself at the Commonwealth Games in India just a month after the Rugby World Cup in England. The 35-year-old is not only confident of success in the ring this year, but also has the 2012 Olympics in her sights.
Well, I've got 2 silver medals in the Commonwealth Judo Championships, but never a gold. Obviously, I'm aiming for a medal. A gold would be brilliant, but Canada probably going to be the toughest nation. It's one of their national sports in Canada and in America. So the Canadian is probably going to be the toughest fight. So it's just going to be hoping for a really good draw. And if you get a good draw, hopefully you can get right through to the final. But it's straight knockouts. If you lose your first fight, that could be the end, unless the person you lose against gets to the final. So hopefully I can win my first fight and get as far as I can, and fingers crossed win a medal. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with the wrestling. The aim is, long-term goal, is to get to the 2012 Olympics. After the Rugby World Cup, I'll see how I do in Delhi, and if I do well, I might have to retire from rugby, who knows, and focus seriously on the wrestling if I want to get to 2012. But that's a highlight of anybody's career, is to get to the Olympic Games, especially in London, so that's my ultimate goal.
One of her proudest moments on the pitch came when she kicked the winning points against England 2 years ago. The first victory over the old enemy in 22 years. Her rugby career hasn't always been so straightforward, though. In 2002, she decided against representing her country in the World Cup, opting instead to compete in the Commonwealth Games. Fortunately, there's no clash this year, and Wales will need all her talents if they're to get through a tough draw.
It is a massive ask, 3 games in 10 days, and I don't think you'd have that in any other World Cup, whether it be rugby or football in the men's game. And the fact we play 3 Southern Hemisphere teams, Australia, South Africa, then New Zealand, it is going to be difficult for us, but the squad is a lot stronger now. We do have that strength and depth that perhaps we didn't have in the Six Nations, All the girls are back from injury, some new fresh blood in the squad from the under-20s team. So hopefully if we all stay fit and well, we can get some good results and hopefully win our group.